Your option to buy an affordable Chinese-made electric vehicle is tonight under threat.
This is probably by far the more important BYD model we're going to see today. It's not actually new. It's been out for a little while in the Chinese market. This is the BYD Seagull.
Chinese electric vehicle giant BYD is preparing to launch an even smaller EV that will change the game in the auto industry. With the trend of its recent ultra-compact model that sold hard globally, the strategy is to keep up and dominate the entire market, leaving other domestic automakers such as Suzuki, Daihatsu, and Honda behind. Will BYD be able to deliver in the next year, and what to expect from the tinier-than-seagull EV? BYD's new Mini EV.
Throwing its hat into the ring is BYD with this model, the Seagull.
When everyone thought Build Your Dreams was over with its EV innovation and technology, but the truth is, it's just warming up. It's cooking something surprising for the next few years, and beyond that beginning in some countries of Asia. Designed specifically for Japanese consumers, the new model is expected to be even smaller than the company's already compact Seagull EV, signaling BYD's intention to tailor its product offerings to local needs and disrupt a long-standing segment. The BYD Seagull, one of the company's most affordable and compact EVs, measures approximately 3,180mm in length. However, the new Mini EV is designed to comply with Japanese K-car regulations, which restrict vehicle dimensions to a maximum of 3,400mm in length, 1,480mm in width, and 2,000mm in height. These regulations are intended to keep cars small and suitable for Japan's dense urban environments, while offering consumers tax and insurance benefits. The new EV will be the first BYD model exclusively developed for the Japanese market. According to reports, the company has strategically designed the car not only to meet K-car requirements, but also to optimize performance, efficiency, and affordability for urban Japanese drivers. The vehicle is scheduled for release in the second quarter of 2026. Japan's K-car segment is not just a niche. It accounts for approximately 40% of all new car sales in the country. These vehicles are beloved for their practicality, ease of parking, fuel efficiency, or battery efficiency in the case of EVs, and cost-effectiveness. BYD's entry into this segment marks a calculated attempt to challenge long-established local players with a fresh, affordable electric option. BYD plans to price the vehicle at around 2.5 million yen.
But what I want to know is this one compromise too many to fit that price, or do they have a little gem on their hand?
Positioning it as an accessible choice for Japanese consumers. This price point is particularly significant in a market where EV adoption has been slower than in other developed nations, largely due to higher upfront costs and limited model availability in the K-car category. BYD's move is being closely watched by industry observers and local car dealerships. Japanese automakers have long held dominance in the K-car category, but BYD's competitive pricing, coupled with increasing interest in electrification, could pose a serious challenge. Some local dealers have reportedly expressed concerns about the potential impact of BYD's entry, especially if the Chinese automaker can offer a compelling combination of price, quality, and local customization. Beyond product design, BYD is also investing in infrastructure to support its expansion in Japan. The company has launched a dedicated website and marketing efforts tailored to the Japanese market. This signals a long-term commitment and not just a speculative product launch. But why Japan first? In recent years, Japan has been steadily moving toward a greener future, and electric vehicles are playing a major role in that shift. While Japan was once known mainly for its hybrid vehicles like the Toyota Prius, now EVs are becoming more common on the streets. Among the newer names entering the market is the BYD Seagull, a small electric car made by the Chinese automaker BYD. It's a pretty new player in Japan's EV scene, but it's already turning heads because of its low price and practical design. When we look closely at the types of people buying the Seagull versus those buying other EVs in Japan, some interesting patterns start to appear. Seagull users in Japan tend to be more price-sensitive and focused on practicality. The Seagull is one of the most affordable EVs available, and that low price makes it especially appealing to younger buyers, students, new families, or even older drivers who don't need a fancy car, just something that works. It's also attractive to people who live in suburban or rural areas, where public transport isn't always reliable. For them, the Seagull is a great option for short trips like grocery shopping, school runs, or quick commutes to work. Its compact size is a bonus, especially in Japan, where parking spaces are small and city roads can be tight. It's not trying to be flashy. Instead, it offers a simple, clean design and just enough features to make it a comfortable daily car. In contrast, the typical EV user in Japan is a bit more varied. Some are tech enthusiasts who love the idea of a high-tech car loaded with features like autonomous driving, smart displays, or advanced safety systems.
Android Auto is on, but it does rotate. That's actually pretty nifty.
Others are environmentally conscious consumers who want to reduce their carbon footprint and feel good about driving electric. These users are often willing to pay more for established EV brands like Nissan, especially the Leaf, Tesla, or even newer models from Toyota and Honda. Their cars tend to offer more range, better performance, and a wider set of features. Many of these EVs are used as primary vehicles, handling everything from daily commutes to weekend road trips across the country. Another big difference lies in the usage patterns. Seagull owners are mostly using their vehicles for short-distance driving. Since the Seagull doesn't have a long range, it's best for people who drive within a limited area each day, say under 100 kilometers. This is often enough for people living in smaller cities or countryside areas where public charging stations might not be abundant, but long-distance travel isn't a daily need. On the other hand, general EV users often rely on their cars for longer distances or more frequent driving. As a result, they're more likely to invest in home charging setups or plan trips around fast charging stations. Cultural attitudes also come into play. Some Seagull buyers are drawn to the car not just for its price, but also for its simplicity and ease of use. There's a mindset of just enough that appeals to many people. Why pay for features you don't need? Meanwhile, other EV buyers might see their car as an extension of their lifestyle. For them, the EV isn't just transportation, it's part of a statement about who they are, whether it's about being environmentally conscious, tech-forward, or just driving something sleek and futuristic. While Seagull users and broader EV users in Japan share a basic interest in electric mobility, their reasons for choosing their vehicles are often very different. Seagull drivers are typically budget-conscious, focused on convenience, and mostly using their cars for short local trips. In contrast, general EV users are more diverse. Some want performance, some want eco-credibility, and some just love new tech. The growing presence of models like the Seagull shows how Japan's EV market is evolving to meet the needs of more types of drivers, from the practical to the passionate. But this raises an interesting question. Could BYD go even smaller? Could we actually see a car tinier than the Seagull in the near future? At first, it might sound a little crazy. After all, the Seagull is already very compact, designed specifically for short commutes.
This one actually has distinction over its bigger brother. And here's a little fun fact about BYD's design.
City driving and squeezing into tiny parking spots. But when you think about market trends, consumer needs, and the way cities are evolving, the idea of a smaller EV makes a lot of sense. There's a growing demand for ultra-compact vehicles that are easy to use, affordable to own, and perfectly suited for urban environments where traffic is heavy, space is limited, and fuel prices are high. Japan is a great example of this. The country already has a strong culture around K-cars, tiny, boxy vehicles that are extremely popular because they're cheap, efficient, and easy to drive. K-cars have strict size and engine limitations, but they work perfectly in Japan's narrow streets and tight parking spaces. Right now, BYD doesn't have a true K-car equivalent, but if they were to design something even smaller than the Seagull, maybe something that matches K-car specs, they could open up a huge new customer base in Japan and similar markets. From a technical standpoint, it's possible. Battery technology is getting smaller and more efficient, and EV platforms are very flexible. BYD has shown it can create scalable, modular electric platforms that can be adjusted to fit different types of vehicles. If they took the basic tech behind the Seagull, its small battery, basic interior, and lightweight design, they could shrink it down even further into a truly micro EV. Something like a two-seater city car, or even a single-person urban pod vehicle for extremely short-range use.
You know, they've all got rapid acceleration, fairly soft steering, comfortable suspension. They're not that different from each other in terms of the driving experience.
It wouldn't need to go fast or far, just far enough to get you to work, the store, or the train station. Of course, there are trade-offs. Going smaller means less space, less comfort, and probably less range. But if the price drops even lower, imagine something that costs under $8,000 or even $6,000. It could appeal to people who can't currently afford a car, or who want a cheap second vehicle for local errands. It might also be attractive to young people, seniors, or delivery workers in big cities. Think about gig economy workers or local businesses who need cheap, reliable transport that doesn't take up much space or burn through fuel costs. There's also an environmental angle. A smaller EV means fewer materials used to build the car, a smaller battery, which uses less lithium and other rare elements, and lower energy consumption per kilometre. It's not just about affordability, it's about sustainability. As cities get more crowded and people become more conscious of their environmental impact, small electric vehicles could play a big role in reducing congestion and emissions. And let's not forget about style and image. A tiny, futuristic EV could be really appealing if it's designed well. BYD has already shown that it can make attractive, modern-looking cars without breaking the bank. If they can apply that same design thinking to a micro EV, they might create something that's not only practical, but also trendy. A kind of cool little city car that people actually want to be seen in. Of course, there are challenges. Regulations, safety standards, and crash protection become trickier with smaller cars. BYD would need to balance size with safety, and different countries have different rules about what's allowed on public roads. Marketing a smaller-than-seagull EV would also require smart strategy, getting people to see it as a real car, not just a toy or scooter substitute. But if any company can figure it out, BYD might be the one. They've already proven they can disrupt the EV market with aggressive pricing, strong technology, and a bold vision for the future. Could BYD make a smaller EV than the Seagull? The answer is yes. And not only could they, but there's a good chance they will. The trend towards smaller, smarter, and more affordable vehicles is growing fast, and the timing feels right. If BYD wants to stay ahead of the curve and capture even more of the global market, especially in urban Asia, a tiny EV might be their next big move. But will it be an easy path? The bigger picture. The global EV market has long been led by premium brands like Tesla, NIO, and Lucid, with high-performance and high-cost vehicles dominating early adoption. While these models have played a crucial role improving EV viability, they are not accessible to most global consumers. BYD's strategic focus on K cars, a uniquely Japanese class of mini vehicles subject to strict size and engine limitations, represents a critical pivot. By launching an affordable electric K car, BYD is addressing a long-neglected market segment, budget-conscious urban consumers. This signals a broader industry trend toward democratization of electric mobility. If successful, it could set a precedent that reshapes product development strategies across the global auto industry, forcing other manufacturers to follow suit in producing cost-effective, compact EVs. BYD's move into Japan's K-car market is a bold challenge to Japanese automakers on their home turf, a market they have long dominated. Brands like Suzuki, Daihatsu, a Toyota subsidiary, and Honda have historically controlled the K segment with petrol-powered microcars. These manufacturers have been slow to electrify this category, in part due to technological challenges related to battery size, cost, and performance in small vehicles. BYD's entry not only threatens to upend Japan's domestic market, but also sends a clear message globally. Chinese EV manufacturers are no longer content with competing on size and luxury. They are targeting every market segment, including the most regulated and culturally unique. This intensifies the competitive pressure on legacy automakers in Europe, Southeast Asia, and potentially North America to offer viable alternatives in the compact EV space. One of the technical challenges of K-sized EVs is energy storage. How do you deliver meaningful range and performance within a vehicle footprint of less than 3.4 meters? BYD, with its proprietary Blade battery technology, is uniquely positioned to solve this problem. These ultra-thin, high-density lithium iron phosphate LFP batteries are not only safer and more durable, but also allow for space-efficient packaging, an essential trait in small vehicles. As BYD scales this innovation to KE cars, it could spur industry-wide advancements in battery miniaturization, modularity, and thermal management. These innovations may eventually cascade upward into mid-size and larger vehicles, improving the overall efficiency and cost profile of EVs. BYD's K car is notable for being designed exclusively for Japan, which suggests a strategic shift toward localized product development. Rather than offering generic global models, automakers may increasingly design vehicles for the unique constraints and opportunities of individual markets: urban congestion in Japan, energy scarcity in Southeast Asia, or regulatory incentives in Europe. This approach reflects a maturation of the EV market, where scalability is no longer just about volume, but about adaptability. BYD's experience in Japan could inform similar efforts in India, with its microcar culture, Indonesia, or Brazil, countries where compact, affordable vehicles dominate the roads, but where EV penetration remains low. BYD's price point, estimated at around $17,500, is not just competitive for Japan, but could also prove attractive in emerging markets where affordability is the key barrier to EV adoption. Countries in Southeast Asia, Africa, and Latin America face significant infrastructure and economic hurdles to electrification. A small, affordable EV that meets the needs of dense urban centers could be the tipping point for mass adoption. If BYD exports a variation of its K-EV to these regions, it could catalyze a wave of low-cost EV adoption, potentially leapfrogging internal combustion engines in markets that have yet to undergo full automotive industrialization. This could also stimulate investment in local EV infrastructure, such as mini charging stations and battery swapping networks tailored for smaller vehicles. Governments worldwide are grappling with how to incentivize sustainable transport without alienating lower-income citizens. BYD's K-EV could provide a model for how regulation, innovation, and affordability can align. Japan's K-car framework, with its size limits and tax incentives, has already shaped the design of this new EV. If it proves successful, other countries may adopt similar classification systems to encourage small EV production and ownership. This could also influence emissions policy. Rather than only targeting luxury SUVs or performance vehicles, governments might begin encouraging urban electric micro-mobility ecosystems, integrating small EVs with public transport, microgrids, and smart city initiatives. Historically, consumers in developed countries have been hesitant to embrace Chinese automotive brands, associating them with inferior quality or lacking prestige. However, BYD has steadily gained credibility in global markets, with its cars now selling well in Europe and Latin America. A successful launch in Japan, a market known for demanding consumers and rigorous safety standards, would lend tremendous legitimacy to BYD and other Chinese EV manufacturers. It may also shift consumer preferences. As urban living becomes more expensive and space more limited, compact vehicles may grow in appeal. A stylish, efficient, and well-priced K-EV could change the perception that EVs must be large and luxurious to be desirable. BYD's announcement of a new, ultra-compact EV designed specifically for the Japanese K-car market is more than just another model launch. It is a strategic play that could reshape the competitive landscape of small electric vehicles in Japan. By focusing on affordability, compliance with local regulations, and urban practicality, BYD aims to carve out a meaningful share in a market where size, efficiency, and price are paramount. The move not only underscores the company's adaptability, but also signals a broader trend of Chinese automakers gaining confidence and momentum on the global stage. Speaking of global stage, is BYD about to lead the EV market, or there's still a long way to compete with the strong established brands? Let's find out. The EV race. The small compact electric vehicle segment is turning into one of the most exciting battlegrounds in the auto industry. With growing demand for environmentally friendly, urban-friendly transportation, car makers like BYD, Honda, and Suzuki are ramping up efforts to capture a slice of this fast-growing market. Each brand brings a different set of strengths and strategies to the table, and it's fascinating to see how they stack up against each other. Let's start with BYD, the company that has made huge strides in the EV world over the past few years. BYD has become one of the largest EV manufacturers globally, and their small EVs are gaining traction at a rapid pace. Take the BYD Dolphin and the newer BYD Seagull. These models are compact, efficient, and very competitively priced. As mentioned, it's about to introduce the newest member of the family, a mini EV. What sets BYD apart is that it controls much of its own supply chain, including battery production. That gives it a huge cost advantage and flexibility, allowing it to offer impressive features like decent range, tech-forward interiors, and fast charging, at lower prices than most of the competition. The Seagull, for instance, has drawn attention for being one of the cheapest electric cars on the market while still offering good performance for daily city driving. Honda, meanwhile, is taking a more refined and brand-focused approach. The Honda E, their flagship small EV, is a stylish and premium urban car with a retro-futuristic design and an ultra-modern, tech-heavy interior. It's not the most affordable EV out there, and its range, just over 200 kilometers, is shorter than many rivals, but it's clear Honda is prioritizing quality, design, and user experience over specs alone. Honda has been slower to scale up its EV lineup compared to others, partly because it's being more deliberate in its transition. However, with new models on the horizon and more investment in electric platforms, Honda is positioning itself to appeal to drivers who value reliability, comfort, and brand heritage. Their partnership with Sony on the Afeela brand also signals a more experimental side that could influence future compact EV offerings. Suzuki's strategy is different yet again. Known for making small, no-nonsense cars, Suzuki has a strong foothold in developing markets like India, where affordability is crucial. While Suzuki has been slow to launch pure EVs, it's now entering the space through strategic alliances, especially its collaboration with Toyota. The company is expected to introduce compact electric hatchbacks that are simple, practical, and ultra-affordable. Suzuki's vehicles might not come with flashy screens or long-range batteries, but that's not really the point. They're aiming to serve budget-conscious buyers who need a reliable electric vehicle for short daily commutes. In countries where infrastructure is still catching up and cost is a major barrier, Suzuki's conservative approach may actually give it an edge. Beyond these three brands, it's important to see the wider landscape. Startups and legacy automakers alike are jumping into the compact EV race. European brands like Renault and Fiat have strong contenders with the Zoe and 500e, respectively, while Hyundai and Kia are pushing hard with models like the Kona Electric and EV3. Even tech companies are getting involved, hinting at future cars packed with AI, connectivity, and autonomous driving features. Still, compact EVs must strike a tricky balance between price, range, and practicality, especially in crowded urban settings, where smaller, cheaper EVs make the most sense. The competition in the small EV space is heating up, and brands like BYD, Honda, and Suzuki each offer a unique value proposition. BYD is all about value and scale, aggressively expanding its presence around the world. Honda leans into premium quality and distinctive design, targeting loyal customers who care about the driving experience. Suzuki is focused on doing what it does best, making simple, affordable cars for markets that need them the most. As battery technology improves and government policies continue pushing electrification, this segment will only grow more crowded and more interesting in the years ahead. Global sales and reception. BYD's entry into the electric vehicle market began with modest steps, but its growth has been extraordinary. Over the past few years, the company has seen a meteoric rise in the number of electric vehicles it sells, with sales figures skyrocketing year after year. In 2021, BYD sold about 721,328 electric vehicles globally. This was an impressive number, particularly given the fact that BYD was still solidifying its position in the EV market. However, it was just a prelude to what was to come. In 2022, BYD's sales grew by a staggering 211%, reaching 1.8 million vehicles, a major leap forward in its ambition to dominate the global EV market. This explosive growth continued into 2023, when the company sold more than 3 million units. By 2024, BYD set a new record by delivering over 4.27 million new energy vehicles, which include both battery electric vehicles and plug-in hybrids. This rapid growth in sales is a clear indication of the company's commitment to transitioning the world to electric mobility, and its efforts have been increasingly recognized on the global stage. This success has not been an accident. BYD's focus on producing high-quality, affordable vehicles that cater to a broad range of consumers, from the budget-conscious to those seeking more premium offerings, has been a key factor in this success. Moreover, the company's strategic decision to focus on vertical integration, where it manufactures not only vehicles but also key components like batteries, has given it a significant edge in controlling costs and maintaining quality. To keep pace with its soaring sales figures, BYD has been ramping up its production capacity at an impressive rate. A major part of its strategy has been to establish large, state-of-the-art manufacturing facilities capable of producing hundreds of thousands of vehicles annually. One of the most significant of these is BYD's Xi'an Mega Factory, which is the largest production facility in its portfolio. This facility operates 4 assembly lines that produce between 4,000 and 4,400 vehicles per day, contributing to nearly 1 million vehicles annually. In 2022 alone, it accounted for about 98% of the new energy vehicle production in the region. This plant is critical to meeting the growing demand for BYD's vehicles, not only in China, but also in international markets. Another key facility is BYD's Zhengzhou Gigafactory, which spans 50 square miles and is designed to produce over 1 million vehicles per year. The size of this factory is a testament to BYD's long-term vision for growth. With plans to employ over 200,000 workers, this factory is crucial to BYD's ability to scale its production further and meet the needs of an ever-expanding global customer base. Beyond its operations in China, BYD has also made significant strides in expanding its manufacturing footprint internationally. The company has established production plants in key markets such as Thailand, Brazil, Hungary, and Uzbekistan, with a planned factory in Mexico set to further boost its presence in the Americas. This international expansion not only helps BYD circumvent trade restrictions, but also positions it to cater to a broader array of markets, from Europe to Latin America. Global market presence and success. While BYD's success in China remains the backbone of its growth, the company has also made impressive inroads into international markets. In 2024, BYD continued to build its presence in regions such as Europe, Australia, and Latin America, where its vehicles are gaining popularity thanks to a combination of affordability, reliability, and cutting-edge technology. In Australia, BYD's electric vehicles have seen strong demand, with models like the Atto 3 gaining traction among consumers looking for affordable yet stylish electric alternatives. Similarly, in Europe, BYD has tailored its offerings to meet local preferences and regulatory standards, cementing its position as a formidable competitor to other major EV players. The company's vehicles are now becoming a common sight on European roads, further solidifying its global reputation. In Latin America, countries like Brazil have embraced BYD's vehicles, contributing to the company's growing presence in the region. By localizing production and distribution channels, BYD has been able to effectively tap into the expanding market for electric vehicles, even in countries with less developed EV infrastructure. Looking ahead, BYD's ambitions are far from over. With its 2024 sales figures setting new records, the company is now targeting even greater success in the coming years. BYD has set an ambitious goal of selling 5 million new energy vehicles by 2025, which would further solidify its position as one of the world's leading EV manufacturers. In terms of product development, BYD is continuously innovating. For instance, the company is set to introduce its Seal EV, which features an 800V architecture designed for faster charging. This move aligns with the broader industry trend of increasing charging speed and reducing downtime, which is a key barrier to EV adoption. Moreover, BYD is investing heavily in the development of autonomous driving technologies and next-generation battery systems to ensure that its vehicles stay ahead of the curve in terms of both performance and sustainability. In addition to its vehicle offerings, BYD is also expanding its energy storage solutions, leveraging its expertise in battery technology to provide clean energy alternatives for homes, businesses, and utilities. This diversification strategy ensures that BYD is not only a leader in electric vehicles, but also plays a role in the broader clean energy ecosystem. BYD's journey from a battery manufacturer to one of the world's largest electric vehicle producers is a story of visionary leadership, innovation, and adaptability. As the company continues to expand its global footprint and production capacity, it is well positioned to play a pivotal role in shaping the future of electric mobility. With its focus on sustainable, affordable, and high-quality vehicles, BYD is not only meeting the demand for electric cars, but also helping to drive the world toward a more sustainable future. As we look to 2025 and beyond, BYD's continued success seems almost certain, as it leads the charge in the global shift toward clean, electric transportation. As for the new Mini EV, industry analysts and local car dealers are paying close attention to BYD's latest move. While Japanese manufacturers have traditionally dominated the K-car market, BYD's aggressive pricing strategy and the growing shift toward electric vehicles could disrupt the status quo. Would you wait for BYD's Mini EV? Write your thoughts below and continue to support us by subscribing to the channel.